May 30th. Such a pleasure that you could stop by. Grab a coffee and let's get smarter together. Yesterday I explained how we generate our first model of the world and self in the also important early childhood years. It's a model, an attempt to make sense of the information that we are able to gather from the actual physical world. And since the physical world is an extremely complex system in which everything has to be considered a variable, sense-making isn't concluded with the generation of the first model. It is a continuous process in which we aim to get ever closer to the truth. In the model, a division exists between the generated model of the world, the thing we experience as reality outside of us, and ourselves. Like the generated model of the world and the self, this boundary is a thing of our own creation. Our best guess of what's going on. This is important to understand because it means that as we go through the continuous process of generating, especially when we select different sets of information, this boundary will move to fit our new assumptions. But back to the division. Because of this division of our own making, we get the impression that the outside world has a mind of its own, as if it, too, is intelligent. And even more so, as if it controls us remotely by instilling us with motivations and causing emotions that the self reacts involuntarily to. Some even have moments in which they feel like this other mind gives their self insight which the self before didn't have. We call it gut instinct, manifestations, epiphanies, and so on and so on. Of course, it's all one and the same thing. All information used in the generation of a model of the world and self and a plethora of additional data is collected and interpreted and reinterpreted by ourselves and self-collectives and collectives of collectives. But to interact with the physical world, we not only need a best assumption of what it is at every single moment, but also the best assumption of what actor is needed in the situation to pursue a specific goal. And since we identify with the actor more than we take credit for the world, it becomes a them and us. The them became gods and goddesses, whom the self serves. The hierarchy is based on the self's feeling of being remotely controlled by the world, of course. A feeling that again is based on the fact that the self has been cut out of the tapestry of the world it once was and still remains an integral part of. In the original belief systems, it was the self that needed to draw the deity's attention if it wanted their goodwill and help. That was done via rituals, involving triggers like scents, sounds, tastes, and movements that lead to a shift in the selected data from the vast pool our cells make available to us. The shift in the set of data that's selected leads to a shift of perspective. Things become aware to us that, while we've picked them up with our sensors, hadn't been able to rise to the level of our consciousness before. And that is often the first step to a different set of tools and solutions that would otherwise have been literally unthinkable. Religion was therefore, and is therefore, nothing else but tapping into the magic of random searches in a standardized way. Religion also did something else. It synchronized the individually generated model of the world across a group to explain the sense of belonging mirroring fosters in all of us. A trick of nature to set off the risk of exploring by using part of the same data used to generate another person in the generation of a self. Those goals will always be shared goals, and we inevitably work collaboratively as long as nature's program is not overridden. And this is how the story about the creation of the world in 7 days probably started before it was integrated into the Torah or Bible as a manual that explains how to integrate strangers into your network. It was necessary because for the longest time all people enjoyed three basic freedoms. One of them was the right to leave your group at any moment. This requires the duty of other groups to welcome strangers into their midst and turn them into a member. Even today we have rituals when a new member joins a church, a family, a company, or even a sorority at the university. They are remnants of experience of social death when you leave the old place and the resocialization at the new place. And it was a source of pride, as we know from Native American societies, to be able to adopt people, even from those whom they considered the most benighted of their neighbors, and through care and education turn them into what they considered to be proper human beings. It means taking these people through a version of a process of first-time generation of a world and self that allowed them access to the outer world which the group, in their imagination, shared, their deities and the rituals that made them accessible. Basically, the group taught the newcomer their way to explore. Since the newcomer would share their old ways, there was a constant mixing of stimuli going on. The randomness of the searches remained such that ever new perspectives led to ever new solutions for which the gods and goddesses could be thanked for blessing. Even though it came all from the inside of a member's minds, once they just went through enough diverse sets of data in the generation process. It's all about exploration. So explore, as known as think. Make a habit out of thinking. Let's turn thinking into a movement. Like, comment, share, and follow, lest you miss a single opportunity to improve yourself and society. Once you do, we'll meet again at the coffee pot.